Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, back with another cartoon crossover TVlog. Today we're going to be talking about the Steven Universe episode, Say Uncle, the Uncle Grandpa crossover. Before any of you is worried, I've seen all of Steven Universe twice now, so I didn't just start with this episode. This episode, I watched it in the beginning of Season 2, I went through all the other episodes first. So yeah, don't worry about that, and trust me, there will be videos on Steven Universe coming very shortly, but I really kind of wanted to get this one out before it becomes too old, I guess. So what did I think of it? I thought it was pretty good on the whole. There are some things I would have liked to have seen different and seen, I guess, more of, and I don't know, just kind of something I expected in my head versus what came out of it. But I think for what it is, it's pretty good. I think it did a really good job of kind of satirizing Steven Universe and a little bit of Uncle Grandpa. Like it makes fun of how dramatized scenes with Steven's mom is, like in the beginning where Uncle Grandpa appears. It makes fun of Pearl's tendencies to overreact and freak out to the point where she is just like full on two-dimensional character in this episode. It makes fun of how weird Uncle Grandpa is and how the gems see him as a threat. Because realistically, if you saw this like weird shape-shifting creepy guy messing with your kid, you'd probably want to intervene and beat him up if you were the gems, or probably an average parent. So it does a good job of making fun of both shows. It does a good job of just with silly, absurdist humor, like how apparently Uncle Grandpa was there and saw Steven because he was in the Coming Up Next bubble box. Of course, that makes sense somehow. Like that was just a clever meta joke. I like how it references the online fandoms and stuff where Mr. Gus has a gem Sona and stuff. And what I really liked about that scene was that it could have easily been just a cheap pot shot at fans who obsess and, like, you know, overdo it. And I think there's a helicopter outside. It could have been making fun of the fans who do that sort of stuff, but instead it's not. There's not really a joke that comes with it. It's just, the only joke is that it's like Mr. Gus of all people who has made this, but no, they don't do that. And I think this is something I'll talk about when it comes to Steven Universe at some other time, but the show and Rebecca Sugar really understands the fans. It really knows what it's like to be a fan of something and to kind of pay homage to that. So this episode really, I see it as a tribute to the fans of Uncle Grandpa or Steven Universe, and how it just kind of references the online fandom and just kind of plays with all that, and it plays with your expectations, and I mean, even the advertising, it totally trolled everyone when it said, oh yeah, you know, this is gonna unlock the secret to Steven's gem. You know, and what we get is basically pretty much everything we already knew of how Steven's gem activates whenever someone's in trouble or whatever, when he feels strong emotions. Which, by the way, did anyone else get the vibe that it was like the episode of Avatar? I think it's called Avatar State. The episode in Season 2 when the one army guy tries to force Aang into the Avatar State. That's kind of what this episode is, where Uncle Grandpa is pretty much trying to force Steven's gem bubble, or gem shield state. So that's, I like that. I liked the humor. I liked the kind of attention to detail when it came to playing with fandoms. Of course, that ending note where there's the list of Cartoon Network characters, and he, you know, is, oh, Clarence is next. Which, by the way, that would be great if you visited Clarence next year. This would be a pretty funny thing if they did this every year. And of course, it was an April Fool's episode. Like, they explicitly say it in the episode, which was cool. And of course, there's it's not canon, bro. You know, all that sort of stuff. So I liked all that. What I didn't like how there was very little story, because I feel like you'd watch this and get the impression that Uncle Grandpa doesn't have plots, like it's just a series of wackiness, when pretty much every episode has a plot. It has a story. It's weird, it's wacky, but there are stories. This one just really has the running line of Steven trying to unlock his powers with the help of Uncle Grandpa while the gems chase after them. That's the only plot in this. And I understand why, because when you have to fit two different franchises into 11 minutes, some stuff is gonna kind of go by the wayside. So I kind of, that's something that I wish they had done more of, especially because it'll give Uncle Grandpa a little bit of a bad name, I guess, in that regard. I also kind of wish Steven had maybe a little more to do. He just kind of seems to be tagging along Uncle Grandpa and reacting to some things. He doesn't really do much compared to Uncle Grandpa and the Gems, which get to carry the bulk of the episode. And I was also disappointed. I was totally, absolutely 110% expecting some sort of fusion to happen. Either Uncle Grandpa and Steven, or Uncle Grandpa and, like, Garnet, Uncle Grandpa and, like, Mr. Gus, or like something wacky and stupid. I was expecting that. Or maybe Garnet and Pearl, because we haven't seen a fusion of just those two yet. Maybe that, and just kind of troll us and give us that fusion, but make it a stupid version of that fusion, or something, or maybe even, that would have been cool. I would have kind of expected that. It would have kind of been cool if Greg was in the episode too. Maybe him and Uncle Grandpa, like, I don't know, if there was a clash between them or something. That would have been cool. But yeah, I mean, I had those expectations. That doesn't mean because the episode didn't do those things I think it's bad, just that I was kind of hoping for some things that they didn't quite do. But I understand. 11 minutes. It made me laugh. It provided a great space between the epicness that was the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2. It fit that kind of niche of giving us a really cool, calm down episode. And it plays up the wackiness of Uncle Grandpa, of course. And if this crossover convinced anyone to watch either Steven Universe or Uncle Grandpa, then I think it did its job well. It convinced me to really finally sit down and watch Steven Universe. Like I said, I had planned on watching it, but it was the straw that made me say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And so in that regard, I think it's very clever, and I think I do think that it might not help in the reputation of Uncle Grandpa that it doesn't really have any plots, but I think it would help show people that the jokes are clever. There is definitely a random element, but the jokes are thought out and clever. Like the part where text pops up and then Amethyst trips over it. It's just like, that's certainly absurdist humor, but it there's a logic behind it. There's a reasoning. There's a thought process, and it plays with expectations as a viewer. So I hope you at least take that and understand that is the kind of jokes that Uncle Grandpa goes for. It's not, for lack of a better term, it's not Teen Titans Go. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. And let me know if you're a Steven Universe fan, an Uncle Grandpa fan, or just one fan of one going into this, and kind of what your thoughts were about the other show and how they maybe changed when watching this. I think if anyone is a fan of Uncle Grandpa and hasn't seen Steven Universe and just saw this episode, I don't know that you wouldn't really get a feel of what Steven Universe is from this episode, because it definitely doesn't have any of the heart that every other episode really has. I mean, it kind of does in the silly way of him caring about Uncle Grandpa. But I think you'll definitely, watching this, you'll wonder who the Gems are, what their deal is, and you'll probably want to know more about that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Pieguyrulz, out.